Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. As I was growing up, one thing that I really enjoy is rice noodles. Rice noodle is a very popular street food, and you can buy them in almost any street corner. And the rice noodles that you buy usually is very simple. Now, what is rice noodle? Well, of course, it is made from rice. It's very different from wheat noodles. But as a noodle, it has a texture that is very distinctive. And I really like the texture of rice noodles. When I cook it lightly, it has a more crisp texture than wheat noodles. But you have to be very careful not to overcook them. Because once you overcook them, then they become very gelatinous. There are many different kinds of rice noodles. If you go to a Chinese grocery store or supermarket, you will find there's an overwhelming different kinds of rice noodles. There are different brands as well as noodles in different thickness. They come from different part of China, but mainly from the southern part of China. And this particular rice noodle is come from Guangdong province. Now, rice noodles is probably most popular is in Vietnam, and they also produce many different kind of rice noodles. And if you go to Vietnam, you will find that they eat rice noodles for almost every single meal, from breakfast to lunch to dinner. When my wife and I visited Vietnam several years ago, we have rice noodles almost every single morning for breakfast. And sometimes I will also go to a local rice noodle shop next to our hotel, and I will have them for snacks. You can buy rice noodles that is pre-cooked or rice noodles that are dry like this. I usually buy them dry because they are less expensive and they're really easy to cook. Cooking rice noodles is very fast. I cook them in my wok, which is wonderful for cooking noodles. It's much better than any type of other cooking utensils. I simply boil the water and I put the entire package of rice noodles in the wok. This is my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok. It's probably the most versatile cooking utensil that I have ever had. I can use it for, of course, in stir frying, but I also use for many other type of cooking functions. In this case, boiling water for boiling noodles. I also use this wok for boiling the regular spaghetti pasta noodles. This Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok is perfect for the regular pasta noodles, so I don't have to break them. You just lay them right over the water in the wok and it do not boil over. So it's just a perfect utensil for that particular purpose. And of course, I also use this wok for steaming. And because this wok has all metal constructions, I can put it in the oven as well. Cooking has a lot to do with simplicity. The less equipment you have, the better, the easier for you to cook. And it is more convenient. You become more familiar with the utensil that you use. Now, in about less than 2 or 3 minutes, the noodle is ready. I have a bowl of cold water right next to the wok. I then transfer the noodle directly into the cold water to stop it from cooking any further. Now, the rice noodle has excellent shelf life. I usually store them in plastic container, and it will last for up to 10 days. And anytime when I'm ready to use it, I can use it for different purpose. In addition to use it in this lo mein dish, I also use it in a noodle soup. When you cook carbohydrate, always cook a little bit more than you need for that dish. You can always use them for other type of dishes, and this makes everything more efficient. To cook this dish, I'm going to start out by frying some egg. In many ways, this dish is very similar to cook a fried rice, except instead of using rice, you are using noodles instead. The wok that I'm using here is what is known as a hybrid wok. It's a wok with stainless steel as well as with non-stick coating. What I do is that I pour the egg into the wok and then I just simply scramble it. Very simple. The step is actually almost identical when you cook a fried rice. You cook the egg first before you add the rice. In this case, I cook the egg first before I add the noodles. I use my wok spatula to break up the egg as much as I can. Again, you can decide how much you want to break up the egg. If you want the eggs in larger pieces, then you don't have to break it up as much. And then I'm going to use about 2 cups of noodles to make this dish. The noodles tend to stick together after you put them in the refrigerator for a while. You can loosen them just like what I'm doing here right now, but you can also warm them up in the microwave for about a minute or so. Then it will be much easier for you to handle. At the time, I do not have a microwave oven available to me, so I just use my tongs to break them up. Once the noodles are warm up, they break up relatively easily. I use a pair of long handled tongs to toss them and to mix them with the eggs. There are almost infinite ways that you can season this noodle dish. Pretty much depends on your preference. If you like it to be spicy, you can do that as well. If you like it savory, you can also approach that. Or you just like it with very little seasoning. So in here, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, and this is followed by about 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce. I'm going to season it relatively lightly, at least in the beginning. I can always make adjustment accordingly, depending on how I like the flavor of the dish. After doing a quick taste test, I decided I'm going to add a bit more soy sauce to make the dish a little bit more salty. Now I'm using a wok spatula to mix everything together. At this point, you can add other ingredients as well, but I decided I'm just going to add it with some chopped scallion. This is a type of dish that I used to eat when I was a child, so it has a special memory for me. Now the dish is ready. As you can see, the total cook time is only about 3 minutes. If you have the noodles already prepped, cooking this dish is extremely easy. And you can see this is just a basic template, and you can add many other ingredients to go with this dish. Most of the time, you should add ingredients that can cook very quickly, such as, say, some frozen vegetables mix that will go very well. And also, another ingredients I frequently use that I really enjoy is asparagus. Asparagus cook very quickly, and you can eat it in a relative lightly cooked ways, so that will work extremely well. So give that a try. I think you will really enjoy it. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routines. And if you like to learn more about my cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.